Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Rhonda and I have 5 home decor hacks that I'm so excited to share with you today. Jumping right in with hack number 1, clock makeovers. These old plastic clocks are not really hard to find. I found this one at my local Goodwill for $3 and some change. And so it's really simple to take these things apart and make them over into something that would fit in with your style. And another little hint is to go and buy this little tiny screwdriver set from the Dollar Tree. It has come in handy countless times because these tiny screws require these tiny screwdrivers. Once the screws are out, you can usually pop everything right apart. I was surprised that this one was made of real glass and not plastic, so maybe that's why it had the higher $3 price tag. But anyway, after you take all the pieces apart, the next step is to remove the hands. Be very careful not to bend or damage any of them, and they usually just pop straight off. The next step is to remove the face that's currently on the clock. This one happened to be glued down, so I had to pry it off and peel it from the clock. Then measure the diameter of your clock face so you'll know what size you need to replace it with. Then go online and you can Google free printable clock face and you'll come up with all kinds of printables. I'll leave this one in my description box below if you want to use this exact one. You can use whatever program you prefer, like Word or Photoshop, to make this whatever size you need it to be and then cut it out. Oh, I printed mine on cardstock paper, but it doesn't have to be. I just thought it might hold up better if it was a thicker paper. And then, of course, cut it out. I always like to use the existing clock face. I just turn it over and put my new image on the back of it. Now this one already had some sticky left on it, but I did go ahead and use some double-sided tape to make sure that my new clock face would stay stuck down. One reason why I like to use the existing clock face is so that I know exactly where to poke the hole in the center of my new clock face. Now then, you can reassemble the face of the clock onto the base and put your hands back on. For the outside plastic piece, if it's not already a color that you like, then paint it up. So I'm going to paint mine with a couple coats of white chalk paint. And this part is optional, but I thought it would be fun to put some little black marks to make this look like it was an enamelware clock. And if this is a thrift store find, be sure to clean everything good. Now you can reassemble the glass and the round plastic piece, flip it over and put the screws all back in, and you're all set with a brand new clock. Hack number 2 is minimalistic art. Now we're going to pretend that this is a nice, new, clean canvas that I've never painted on. Never mind these parts that I actually have already painted on. For this piece, you need to paint your canvas white, so that should be the first thing you do. Then pick out a few different colors that you like, or mix some colors together like I did to make a variety of different colors, and just start painting some shapes onto your canvas. I'm going with circular shapes, so some of them look like circles or half circles, and then I have one shape that's gonna wind up looking like a peanut. But whatever you think makes you happy, just paint those shapes in various shades of colors. Making sure that your painting is 100% dry, I waited overnight before this next step. The next thing is to take a fine tip black pen, and I'm using a Sharpie pen, and you're going to draw a simple leaf design. Start out with just a couple of branches, and then you will sprout some smaller branches from those branches and just draw some leaves. They're very simple. Practice on some scrap paper if you want to first, but they're just so easy to do, and it's a lot of fun too. Then go back and make some of your stalks a little darker. It makes more interesting art if you have various different shades and different thicknesses of your lines. Then go back and at the bottom of your leaves, put a little place that looks like the little holder part at the stem. You can absolutely do as little or as much as you want. Keep going as long as you're happy and having fun. Hack number 3 is making use of those old picture frames. If you didn't know already, brass items are making a huge comeback. And so I always get excited when I see these old, heavy style brass picture frames at Goodwill and thrift stores. And they're usually pretty cheap. They are not hard to find. And usually you don't have to do anything to them. They are perfect just the way they are. They just need cleaned up. But sometimes you'll find something that you like the shape of this oval frame that I have here, but it's just plastic and it's of course not real brass and it's way too yellow. But I'm going to fix all that with some rub and buff. As the product name implies, it's really simple to apply. You can even just use your fingers and rub it right onto whatever you're wanting to make look antique gold. You'll see the longer you rub, the more it seems to kind of fuse into the material that you're rubbing it onto, and it turns out doing a pretty darn good job. Now someday I plan to get my hands on some old black and white pictures of my grandmas, but I don't have them right now. So until I can get those pictures, I have went online and I Googled 1940s couples, and I found old vintage pictures of these couples and families, and I adore them. And so that's what I'm going to put into my picture frames. And I'm even going to jazz them up a little bit using some of this ephemera that you can buy on Amazon. And this is what I do. Anytime I'm on Amazon and I'm really close to that $25 free shipping mark and I need to just spend a couple more dollars to get there, I buy these stickers and ephemera pieces, and I will link this in my description box below. There's all kinds, all different styles, and you'll find them useful in scrapbooking and all kinds of crafts, just like making these pictures pop a little more. Hack number 4 is the wooden wreath. This one's super simple, guys. Just buy this wreath from Walmart. It's $5.33, and then paint it up with some white chalk paint. Then using a dry foam brush and just a teeny tiny bit of brown paint, just dry brush around the edges, making this wreath look a little distressed. And if you get too crazy with the brown paint, you feel like it's too much, you just go right back over it with your white paint and make it perfect. And hack number 5 is decorating with little pots. I saw them sitting there at Walmart, these cute pinkish color pots. They're ceramic, they're not terracotta, and they were only $2 a piece. And the hack here is to use whatever you already have. And I already had this little greenery piece in a little burlap sack that I think came from the Dollar General store. So I'm going to use that as the bulk of my greenery in this pot. And then I'm going to add to it one stem of some greenery that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to use my wire cutters to cut them off the size that I need and put them in there with the little burlap piece I already had. And that's the hack. Just using what you already have and finding inexpensive items, sometimes at Walmart or thrift store or wherever, and you can make beautiful home decor. Now, weren't those super simple and fun? I hope you enjoyed all these home decor hacks, and you'll join me next Friday for even more DIY fun. If you can't wait another week, then click the link that I provided for you right here and it'll take you to another fun video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!